Center stage in Louisville tonight. Dynamic quarterbacks. Miami's D'Eriq King brings electricity and leadership. The Cardinals' Malik Cunningham goes deep with the best of them, both surrounded by speedy playmakers. Second-year coaches expect to step up and contend in the ACC. Scott Satterfield team hungry to atone. Manny Diaz knows Miami needs a road win to build momentum. The conference opener for both teams on a very lovely night in the Derby city of Louisville. Beautiful weather here. Welcome to Saturday Night Football on ABC, presented by Capital One. The ACC opener as the Miami Hurricanes and Louisville Cardinals collide in a matchup of ranked opponents, part of Marathon Conference kickoff. A crowd of 12,000, max allowed by the governor, on hand. They'll make some noise tonight. Welcome, Chris Fowler, Kirk Herbstreit. Our first college telecast together in year 25. This is a good one, Kirk. These are two evenly matched teams in the ACC. Both speed all over the field. And it's the opener, but it's important in this race. Everybody chasing Clemson.
Everybody's looking to go after Clemson. Everyone's kind of jockeying for position to see who the team that might make it into the ACC championship to play them. Tonight could go a long way in deciding who ultimately ends up being that team.
We love Miami's new quarterback. D'Eriq King comes from Houston. He might be 5'10", but man, he is explosive, and he's a great leader in this program.
Well, I think that's really what Miami's needed for a long time, is not just a great player, which D'Eriq King is coming over from Houston, but his leadership skills, which will be important tonight on the road, has been something that's been lacking for decades, in my opinion, since going all the way back to Ken Dorsey in this system. So you have Rhett Lashley, new offensive system. You got a new quarterback, new belief with the Hurricanes and Manny Diaz in his second year. But D'Eriq King's going to have to be special tonight.
Offensive line is better. They got a strong running game. Louisville, meanwhile, talk about speed and abundance of playmakers. They got a triple threat. You got a quarterback like Cunningham, running back like Hawkins, receiver like Hatwell. Tough to stop.
Yeah, I think you could look at these three at these positions and compare them to anybody in the ACC at all three positions, maybe anybody in the country. Start with Hawkins in the backfield. They love to stretch play with him, and he's got a low center of gravity. You can see he gets through those arm tackles yards after the contact. Miami has got to do a good job of wrapping up because he's a handful. Malik Cunningham, can't wait to watch him tonight. Ability to run and create. If you get man-to-man coverage, you better keep an eye, you better spy on number 3. This is last week. See how quickly he identifies things? Now in his second year, I think he's seeing things much quicker and reacting quicker. We talked about Tutu Atwell. He's undersized, but man, just get number 1 the ball in space and let him do his thing. This is Miami last year. See the speed, running away from the Miami defense. So they're very well aware of his ability. He's got to be able to try to find ways to get those one-on-one matchups, and the Louisville receivers are a tough bunch led by Tutu Atwell.
Haven't talked defense yet. Miami should have an edge in that department. A nasty pass rush trying to get after Cunningham, and Louisville hopes their defense takes another big step up this year.
Real quick, Louisville's defense has got to do a good job defending the run against Miami if they're going to have any chance of slowing them down.
This will be fun. The Cardinals and the Hurricanes in Louisville tonight as the ACC season heats up.
The Nissan pregame rush is next after this message and a word from our ABC stations.
A Thea Americana.
Nah, markings seem off.
What about a Prunga Alivacea?
I've just never seen one associate with an honest Platyringus before.
What kind of bird has teeth?
Welcome to the Nissan pregame rush. Nissan, premier partner of the Heisman Trophy.
Well, grateful to have college football on this nice evening in Louisville. Miami visiting the Cardinals. The ACC has wrinkles this year, just like every league. There are no divisions. You play 10 conference games, line them up at the end, and the top 2 teams will play for the conference championship. So enhanced importance here. Let's check out some of the ACC scores this afternoon. Notre Dame, of course, playing in the ACC. They just romped over South Florida. Ian Book ran for 3 touchdowns in the first half. Trevor Lawrence, ETN used sparingly in Clemson's shutout.
Yeah, Notre Dame, as you said, second week. Nice job by Ian Book and his offense. Really got out of the gate quickly. How about Boston College and Jeff Hafley? His first win as a head coach at Boston College. Congratulations to Coach Hafley. And I thought that, this league, it's still so early, but it's important to try to get your mojo and your confidence established, and few of these teams are being able to jump out of the gate.
One piece of news to pass along on the ACC, Mike Norvell, the new coach of Florida State, testing positive for COVID. They don't expect it to jeopardize the game against Miami. We wish him the best. He's asymptomatic. Now, the Big Ten, these fans are so excited, Kirk. October 24th, no tune-up, unlike the other leagues. You jump right in, and you get to impress the committee quickly.
Yeah, you see Ohio State, they play Nebraska at home, and then their very next week won't be the traditional whiteout, right, going over to Penn State. But Ohio State at the end has the big game against Michigan. So you're right, it's just back. The fact that Big Ten football is back has a lot of people excited and fired up, including me.
Absolutely. We talked about the defense. Miami's pass rush features bookend guys like Jalen Phillips, who's a tremendous player, came from UCLA. You'll see him tonight wreaking havoc. On the other side is a transfer from Temple, Quincy Roche, who's got 27 career sacks. That's the most among guys who are active in college football. They are a problem, even without Greg Rousseau, who opted out. Miami's defense is led by great pass rushers tonight. They'll try to get after it, Cunningham. This will be fun. It's been the Nissan pregame rush. Kickoff from Louisville is coming up between the Cardinals and the Hurricanes. But first, let's take a peek inside Nissan's Heisman House.
What the heck happened here?
Lamar, what are you doing here?
It's football season. Heisman time.
It's on? It's Heisman time?
It's Heisman time?
It's Heisman time.
It's been a challenging year. But is it the year these teams take off in the ACC?
Right now we're 1-0 and we're trying to get the momentum rolling for the season.
They'll need to get it going right out of the gate.
Let's go, baby!
Somebody give me something to believe.
De'Aaron King is new to Miami, but there's no time to get used to the U. A top 20 test is first on his to-do list. Louisville counters with a set of triplets who can beat you in every way.
Here's another Louisville touchdown. The triplets get the job done tonight.
With redemption on their mind.
We lost to those guys, and I mean, it left a chip on our shoulder, so we're pumped and ready for it.
To emerge from the shadows and into contention for the conference title, the first step is in prime time, when the Hurricanes meet the Cardinals on Saturday Night Football.
Cardinals taking the field as you watch this presentation of the ACC on ESPN. Both these teams have cleared so many mental and physical hurdles in this most challenging of off seasons. They are pumped up for this ranked matchup here in Louisville. We're pumped up to have Allison Williams reporting from the sidelines tonight. Hey, Allison.
Hey there, Chris. Pumped up to be with you. And, you know, this is a capacity crowd of 20%, and it's going to be different. Each game this year is going to feel different based on what local governments will allow for fans. But I'll tell you, the energy on the field, it is on full display. The Miami players were flying around, the defensive line busting their moves. And let's just remember, this Louisville staff, well, they have a reputation for the pregame hype and intensity, and it was on full display. Both teams told us that COVID took away the fun this offseason. There were no team outings or barbecues, no trips to the beach. They put in the work, though, so tonight, for games, they can go out there and have some fun, and it's already started, Chris.
That's a great point. Look, a lot of parts of this job for these players is not fun, as you know.
Yeah.
The games are fun, but it's even more important what happens on Saturday nights because the weeks are still difficult with all the regulations.
Yeah, they are, but I think Allison makes a great point about just the coaches around the country are doing a very good job despite the restrictions and the challenges of making these guys have fun. Not making them, but getting them excited, getting them fired up for Saturday, whether you have 12,000 like we have here tonight or nobody in the stands. I've been impressed by that, really, around the country.
This was a rout a year ago in Miami. Cardinals hungry to atone for that. Miami a slight road favorite at kickoff tonight. Cardinals won the toss deferred, and so Brock Travelstead will boot it away. And Mark Pope, Miami's wide receiver, number 6, is deep to receive the kickoff. ACC for both teams about to get underway. And Travelstead's kick driven into the end zone. Gains from the 25, and here is De'Aaron King. He had a sensational 2018 down in Houston, accounted for 50 total touchdowns, running and throwing. 4 games into 2019, when Houston was 1-3, Holgorsen had the idea, maybe redshirt. Then at the end of that year, he decided to transfer to Miami. And Rhett Lashley there, a new offensive system. King could not have been more impressive in the offseason to get ready for this.
Yeah, it's to me, it solidifies not just this offense, but this team. You know, if you talk to the Miami players, the coaches on both sides of the ball, you know, they cannot say enough about De'Aaron King, not just, again, the playmaking ability, but how he is able to get everybody to believe that they got a chance to win games.
Rolls and throws on first down. And there's his best weapon, the tight end, Brevin Jr., the junior out of Las Vegas, and the Canes are off and running. Big gain on the first play.
Yeah, I love to see how they get Jordan the football early. They've got to be able to establish the run. Here's our Chick-fil-A impact players. You'll see Harris in the backfield had a big game. Jordan just made a catch. Avery 9 in the middle defensively, and Russ Yeast has got to be in the back end making plays as well, being the quarterback of that secondary.
18 yards on the first play. King is a very dangerous scrambler on the design run. Brought down by Isaiah Hayes, got 3 yards.
I think they had too many men in the backfield in that formation. Miami. One of the things when you go this new system with Rhett Lashley, Andy Diaz went out and hired Lashley from Memphis, where he's with Sonny Dykes, one of the air raid offenses. And it's all about tempo, right? And you go back to Rhett Lashley before that, he was at Auburn. And of course, it's with Gus Malzahn, it's about tempo.
Illegal formation, offense, 5 men in the backfield, 5-yard penalty, first down.
Tonight, the priority, Kirk, get the passing game going. They ran over UAB, 337 on the ground a week ago. King missed some throws, though.
Yeah, he did. And I think, you know, you got to remember, this is all work in progress for a new system, a quarterback that's getting comfortable with the timing with these receivers, and also with the offensive line and pass protection, an area they really struggled last year. 51 sacks.
King pressure. Can he escape? And he's going to be trapped behind the line as Louisville brought pressure, and the elusive number 1 could not get away.
Yeah, they bring pressure right up. You see the linebacker, Avery, bringing pressure. The other linebacker, Etheridge. One of the things that they know they have to do, and like I said, it was an Achilles heel for the Canes last year. You give up 51 sacks. It's one of the near the bottom of the entire country. Now there's some new faces up there. You got a new system, but if you're Louisville and you're Brian Brown, the defensive coordinator, you got to bring pressure on De'Aaron King.
And they swarm the ball carrier behind the line. It's Cam Harris, junior out of Carroll City High School. This is a heck of a sequence for the Cardinals defense after that 18-yard gain on the first play.
And what you'll see from this defense, I really love Brian Brown's scheme. They play a 3-4, 3-down lineman, but they are slanting and angling. Those linebackers are coming downhill in a hurry. Look, there's confusion on that left side there of the offensive line. So Miami kind of self-destructing after that nice play on the first play of the game to Brevin Jordan.
By the snap, false start, offense.
Who says 12,000 fans can't make a difference, right?
I was just going to say, in normal weeks, you got 12,000 fans. How depressing. But it's kind of electrocuted. The folks are on their feet, and Miami offensive line misfiring a couple times already.
Yeah.
3rd and 24. They expect this offensive line to be one of the areas of improvement. But a rough start in the first series. Louisville rushing just 3. Plenty of time from the pocket in the outlet. In the flat to Harris, and he's knocked down. So after a dynamic opening play, Miami goes backwards, and Louisville forces a punt.
Yeah, they're going to have to do a good job of moving him around tonight and getting their running game going, because when he drops back to throw, you know, in that first series, you could see it's still an issue with Miami trying to take care of their quarterback and giving him enough time to be able to evaluate the coverage and make a decision.
Who Headley to punt? Rajay Burns is a linebacker, so you know you have a good athlete at linebacker when he doubles as the punt returner. And the Aussie rolls out. He is a weapon, a booming punt. Burns backpedals and takes a fair catch at the 20-yard line, a 47-yard punt. That's what he averaged in the opener. So here comes Malik Cunningham. That's what he wants to be called now. It's been Malik, then it was McHale. Now it's back to Malik. Whatever you call him, he's a talented deep ball thrower, and he's got playmakers all over the place.
Yeah, and remember, second year in the system. Boy, it makes a big difference. I think he has such a better grasp of what they're trying to do. And you're right, Chris. He's got a lot of playmakers. Tutu Atwell gets most of the attention, number 1, but Des Fitzpatrick, number 7, is dynamic. Justin Marshall can hurt you. Not to mention what they have in the backfield.
He's immediately under pressure on the play-action fake. Tried to get the ball right away to Tutu Atwell, the speedy Miami native, certainly one of the impact players on this offense.
Yeah, you'll see him do a lot of different things to get him the football, but it really starts with their running game, whether it's Cunningham or Hawkins in that backfield. Then eventually they will find Tutu Atwell. We've already talked a lot tonight about Phillips. We'll talk more about him throughout the game, and they're loaded at safety. Gervin Hall, 26, kind of the leader back there, but they've got 3 that are NFL caliber safeties.
Second down, Hawkins finds a crease, breaks a tackle, and lowers the head. He's right near the marker at the 30-yard line, coming off a big game against Western Kentucky.
Watch the block right there by the right tackle, Brown. See how he does a good job of holding that point, and when they run this outside stretch play, I tell you, Hawkins has as good a feel as any back you'll see. It's just kind of being patient, waiting for that crease, then putting his foot in the ground and accelerating with that burst upfield.
He's got it again, and this time they muscle him. Miami is stopping the run. Is certainly a strength of Diaz's defense a year ago. Only 3.2 a carry. That's strong. PlayStation is Hawkins' nickname. You're the PlayStation guy. Look at the controller. These are the authentic.
Now that's my controller. That's old.
We got the spin move here.
Look at that controller. Yeah, I can play with that controller. The controllers today, they got 12 buttons.
He's got all the moves.
He does. I mean, he does do it all. I love he's low center of gravity, 5'9", about 196 pounds, but he also has great speed to go with that power.
Cunningham rolls, tries to create on the fly, has some blocks, gets the edge, has a first down, and has Miami territory before he is finally cut down by Amari Carter, but a big scramble. 24 yards.
See how Atwell goes into motion. He's looking to throw down there, but it's taken away. Keeps the play alive, shows the patience. Probably the area he's grown the most. Instead of forcing the ball, I think now he understands the scheme better, understands coverage better, just comes off of it, and then he can utilize his legs. And if they don't have a spy on him, they play man. He's tough to bring down.
And they mishandle. He's got to retrieve the snap. Does so nicely on the fly. And is shoved down, and that'll draw a 15-yard penalty against Miami's defense. So it could have been a disastrous play. Cunningham rescued it, and now they're going to get a first down. Keontre Smith,
I think
guilty of the personal foul.
Keontre Smith's just excited to be in the game, in for Frierson, and just makes a mistake where he's overly aggressive. And that was, they're about to catch a break. Now Manny Diaz wants to call him over and talk to him. He's a guy that they think has a really bright future, and he's just so amped up. Big mistake.
Unnecessary roughness defense, number 4. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Took about a swing within about 6 seconds here. What this could have been for Louisville.
Oh yeah. They catch a break with the snap going through his legs. It wasn't, again, it was just the timing of it, where he hit him. He's well out of bounds. You almost could see he was in super slow-mo. He realized what he had done and tried to almost grab him and hold him up. But by then he was fired. You look at, well, now the
coach is fired up.
Yeah.
If you're going to shove a guy that late, try not to do it on their bench. And remember how spread out the bench is. A much different look here. The COVID distancing restrictions. Players all the way down to the 15-yard line. On first down now, Cunningham rolls, is chased by Phillips, and has to just throw it away. You see the speed of the big man Phillips running down the quarterback that time.
Yeah, and also you see really good coverage on that play by Miami. It was kind of a levels concept, and all 3 levels were taken away. You saw Zach McLeod, who redshirted last year, and he's taken over kind of the leadership role of those linebackers in really good position there. There's nothing Cunningham could do but throw that ball away.
Talk about 2 hungry guys, Phillips and Roche, in contract years, and their skill set can make you a rich man. They can have big years this year. And running left, Hawkins again has a crease, sheds a tackle. They shove him again right near the sideline. No flag this time. It'll set up third down.
Great block by Boone, the left tackle. Watch him kind of hooks the edge here, holds that edge, and in man coverage, the corner's gone. So they're able to get to that corner in a hurry, set up a 3rd and short here. They're going to keep stretching. the outside of the Miami defense, and you're either going to set the edge as a D-end or a backer, or those corners are going to have to come up and be involved in the run game.
Cardinals need 2 on 3rd down. Cunningham keeps it, throws it in the flat, and knocked down as Marshawn Ford initially got away from the tackle of Bolden, but is going to be knocked down behind the line of scrimmage. It's 4th and about 3 now.
That's a great play by Bolden. I know that the big tight end Ford almost stayed alive, but Bolden, he didn't hesitate, man. He just shot. Watch 21 off to the right. He reads this play, anticipates that throw, and because of how quickly he reacted, he was able to get his hands enough to slow down Ford there.
So the first career field goal attempt for James Turner, who was perfect on 5 PATs in the opener. This from 40 yards. And a successful start to his field goal kicking career. And the Cardinals take it 58 yards in 8 plays to jump on top 3-0. Now, given the guidelines, it's a festive start. You can see the AT&T 5G Skycam. Check out the AT&T 5G Skycam Skycast streaming live on ESPN3 and the ESPN app. So impressive drive from the Cardinals. It stalls, but they draw first blood. Another kickoff from Brock Travelstead. And this Miami offensive line will try to settle down after a troubled first series. Well, D'Eriq King, all about his family, and he lost his dad Eric to a heart attack at the age of 48 in February. Went back to Houston. They delayed the start of spring practice for a couple of days so he could go home. Already his mom Cassandra had been diagnosed with breast cancer. We got good news. Ringing the bell. Cancer-free in July, and she and some of her kids came to Miami for the opener. They are here tonight in Louisville to support D'Eriq, and that means a whole lot to him.
Yeah, his family obviously very influential on him, and the person he is, not just the player, but the person. And it's been a tough year for D'Eriq King.
Play action. King slings it far side, and it's complete to D. Wiggins. Allison?
Chris, I talked to him about what this last year has been like. He said it's just been crazy. But the one thing that really stood out to me is how much he's just been impacted by the importance of his family, how much they have lifted him up. He said going through all this made me realize football isn't everything. Before, it was my world. Now I know the most important thing in this world is my family and the relationships with the people I love.
Yeah, very impressive kid. Harris has the edge, and Cam Harris following his block. Big explosive run down inside the Louisville 30-yard line.
Nice job by this offensive line. Watch the right guard Scaife get up and get to that second level, but this time they sustain their blocks. And Cam Harris, a powerful guy, but can accelerate away from contact.
Playing fast into the 38-yard game. And Harris kind of stumbled as he got the handoff, met right at the line of scrimmage. A big physical guy who looks like he weighs more than 210 to me.
And in this tempo right now, it's all about this new system. And you watch certain college games, and some tempos are faster than others. Well, again, Rhett Lashley played for Gus Malzahn in high school, and he coached with him for a number of years, so 10 years. So he is a guy that believes in trying to get a defense on its heels by not just the play calling, but the tempo is vitally important.
Quick strike, batted up in the air, and falls to the carpet. A dangerous throw. It bounced off the hands, and Burns was in the area.
Now Burns does a good job of not hesitating. Watch his eyes on the quarterback, and then he reads the route, and now all of a sudden he gets up quickly. Instead of sitting back, he did that last year. He made a lot of plays, kind of playing that Cardinal backer, which is their hybrid. He sits over that slot, and he does a good job of just having a feel for when to accelerate and put his foot in the ground and come up, and when to sit back. And that time, really good play.
Offside, though, called on Louisville, so they mark it off.
I didn't see that. I didn't see that.
No, I didn't either. The quick throw to the perimeter. Hope has a blocker and knocked out of bounds. Now it's the Hurricanes' turn to call for a personal foul flag. I don't see one over there.
Nice block by the tight end, Brevin Jordan, who they really use as much at times as a receiver. But that was just De'Ara King seeing the numbers. The inside receiver had a soft defensive back, and he gets out of the running game and flips it out to his receiver.
Another quick first down play, tossed over the middle, caught. Will Mallory, touchdown Miami, and the Canes answer very quickly. What a drive.
But when you have a back that can do damage like Cam Harris, and he did that earlier, you fake here, watch how it impacts this linebacker, and you can slide the tight end behind him. Watch the backer's eyes. See the hesitation? All of a sudden now he's just out of position. Look at that throw to the back shoulder there by King. Instead of leading him to the defender, he throws it to the back shoulder. Great accuracy and a great play call there by Lashley.
Canes have an elite kicker now, and Jose Borregales, the grad transfer from FIU, who's the all-time leading scorer at that school. Living his dream, adds the PAT. And De'Ara King in the second possession quickly leads Miami down the field, 75 yards. They take the lead. Cassandra said, that's what I traveled to Louisville to see. Miami up 4.
Saturday Night Football on ABC is presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet? And in part by Marathon, fueling the American spirit.
Traditional first Saturday in May, right? You missed Derby 146. Everybody missed it.
Yeah, man, it's my favorite weekend of the year. I love it.
Churchill Downs looking a little dark. It's very near Cardinal Stadium. Well, Derby 147. You'll be back there.
Yeah.
Losing a bunch of money like you usually.
I stumbled into some wins last year. You didn't hear about that?
I heard about it.
It was a total accident.
Oh, I've heard about it.
I was a total accident.
But Bears filled me in.
Oh, I'm sure. It's a great story, actually.
Borregales kickoff into the end zone. College game day. You guys did a great job, I thought. It's difficult. It's a challenging year for the show to get the energy. Lee Corso from his backyard, and you guys are headed to Coral Gables, or I guess Miami.
Yeah.
Florida State Miami will be our primetime game.
Yeah.
Reported earlier, Mike Norvell, a positive COVID test. He can coach remotely, but Chris Thompson will do the in-person head coaching duties for the Seminoles. They have no reason to believe the game is in jeopardy.
We keep saying it's just going to be one of those years, right? It's just, as Lee Corso says, improvise and adjust all the way through the entire season.
Cunningham looking to throw and delivers a strike to Des Fitzpatrick, one of the dangerous playmakers. And the man from Michigan, the fifth-year senior, has first down yardage.
Yeah, it's a nice job. Little play fake, but more importantly, the rhythm, the timing, just kind of puts his foot, gets back there after the fake and times it up well. These receivers and Malik Cunningham, after playing last year, they really, about middle of the year, they were rotating 3 different quarterbacks throughout the year. Cunningham took over, and once he did, I think he and his receivers really grew and had a great bowl game over Mississippi State and went into the offseason.
Their roommates should have good chemistry. Here's a first down run. And Jalen Phillips flying in there. He's not just a pass rusher. He's also very, very strong in run support.
Yeah, Chris, he's worked very, very hard to get better. Watch 15, use his hands, just get off that block. I mean, he is an elite player. I mean, he's when he came out of high school out in California, ended up going to UCLA, one of the top defensive players in the entire country. He just had a bunch of injuries in his 2 years out at UCLA, almost contemplating giving up the game.
On 2nd and 9, a slow developing run. Hawkins trying to stay alive, does break a tackle, and another, and skips out inside the Miami 40. Did well to avoid a loss.
Yeah, he does a really good job of just kind of bouncing around. Not a whole lot of blocks, but you can see he's almost using his lineman there. George is an obstacle as he just kind of jump cuts and shows you that balance that he has.
Slipped the tackle of Roche off the edge. He was the American Association Conference Player of the Year on defense last year. That's how good he was at Temple. Cunningham moves the pocket and just has to flip it into the bench. That time you got to concede. The pass rush for the Canes won that one.
Well, if they're trying to set up a screen, the timing of this was not good. Watch the left side of the line. They start to get out of there, but before they get out of there, there's already pressure. Miami had gotten, Jonathan Ford, 96, had gotten in on the other side, so the timing of that screen just blown up on 3rd down. Never really had a chance. All he could do was throw it away.
All right, here's Logan Lupo, who had a disastrous punting debut a week ago against Western Kentucky. Dropped a wet ball in the first possession. set up Hilltoppers at the 1-yard line, had one block later in the game, so it's a big relief for Louisville fans that he gets a nice punt away. And the fair catch made back at the 13-yard line by Pope. King and the Canes back to work, up 4 midway first quarter here in Louisville. High above us, aerial coverage provided by Goodyear. The best part of every kickoff is the drive that comes next to go further with Goodyear. More driven. I want to salute Fast Eddie Ogden. This guy's a legend. Airship PR specialist and historian, 43 years in airship operations, retiring.
Wish Eddie all the best.
From every angle, that Miami 75-yard drive was impressive. Can they back it up here into the middle? Donald Chaney, one of the true freshman running backs, top runner in Dade County a year ago, had an impressive opener. He's going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage.
Kind of excited to see what Miami does after that impressive drive, the last drive that they had. Derek King spreading the ball around. He had 5 different completions now, 5 different receivers. And he was in command in that second drive of the game for the Miami offense.
Chaney motions out for receiver look. And they're going to take a shot to the running back downfield and overshot. Looks like some confusion as the young running back kind of broke the route off late.
Yeah, I don't think he ever saw the football. You know, I don't think he ever was sensing the ball was coming to him. He had a one-on-one matchup. He was isolated. King had time. I'm not sure what ball was actually thrown right where it needs to be. Again, he's a true freshman.
He looked like a sprinter running down the field, but he forgot the football.
Yeah, but
part of it.
Ball was thrown over his outside shoulder. He forgot the ball.
See it. So 3rd and 9. And Louisville a chance to get the Canes off the field and perhaps get nice field position. Harris back in the game as the back. And there's a throw over the middle. It's caught by Mallory, who just scored the touchdown, and the tight end is off and running. There's a flag down at the line of scrimmage. The tight end is still rumbling way down inside the red zone. But there was a whistle that was hard to hear, believe it or not, even with 12,000 here, right near the snap. Diaz a little confused. He's going to come back. Impressive nonetheless by the tight end.
Yeah, boy, they have 2 really good tight ends. People forget about Will Mallory. He has the size and the speed. You can see what he can do.
They believe he, like Jordan, has an NFL future. Comes from Jacksonville. Looks the part.
The umpire made that call pretty quickly.
Ball start.
Yeah.
Offense. Number 51.
They got DJ Scaife, the right guard. He must have literally just moved his hand. The umpire was staring in at the offensive line, because you didn't see his shoulder, you didn't see much of his body move. 51. It had to be a hand twitch or a hand movement, because there was not a whole lot of movement from his body at all.
Nullifies a 74-yard gain and makes it 3rd and 14. King fires long throw to Pope, who makes the catch, slips a tackle, step out of bounds, but they convert the 3rd and long to the junior from Miami.
Well, when you rush 3 and you drop 8, you know, you're relying on the coverage to make the quarterback hold the football. He's got time, and you'd think that he wouldn't have anywhere to go, but there are big holes on that right side of coverage.
Catch your breath, because they're often playing fast after the big play, and it's a completion out there to Mike Harley, his first catch of the night. This is so tough for a defense. They thought they were going to get off the field.
I'm just going to warn Billy Bonnell, our producer, if Rhett Lashley gets a first down, get ready, because it's indie tempo, and they are flying up to the line of scrimmage.
Warn Brian Brown's defense, more importantly. Harris breaks a tackle. This is a defense that looks a little shell-shocked. They had the Canes backed up, and now Miami is moving again.
And the other thing is, in the middle of this COVID, here comes tempo again. How do you prep for this kind of tempo? It's one thing to go up against tempo. That's always the challenge in college football. But with all these restrictions and some people deciding not to tackle and maybe you tackle a little bit, now you got to deal with this tempo against Derek King. That's tough.
King fires again off the hands of Harley that time.
Man, if you're a Miami Hurricane fan and you've been suffering for a long, long time, how nice is it to watch number 1 behind the center right now for you? And this system with Rhett Lashley. Honestly, I mean, I don't know if they're going to win this game. I don't know what kind of year they're going to have. It just feels different, man. It just feels right with him back there being this quarterback in this system. And I think his team has confidence, like we talked about, in this system and in this quarterback. It's a totally different feel.
Totally agree. 2nd and 10. This is a run. He cannot escape. That's a nice play. Flooding in there is Monty Montgomery.
Yeah, he does a nice job kind of knifing through in the middle of that defense. You'll watch him right in the middle. Does a good job getting around the potential block there. Nobody really accounted for him. Clark went up, but it went around him. Made it pretty easy, but they're really high on the junior, Monty Montgomery. I think he could have a great year for them.
Didn't bring pressure on the last 3rd and long, and King made him pay. Let's see what they do here. King making the adjustment. Jalen Knighton, the true freshman, is the tailback. 3rd and 11. Again, they rush 3. King has a whole lot of time to survey the field and delivers a strike to Jordan, and they move the sticks again. He is making them pay for not bringing the rush.
Yeah, how about the patience and the composure? Not feeling, look at him, watch his legs. He just works, he goes left to the right, stays calm in that pocket, makes the throw. And I'll tell you, when you put Mowry in there, they move Jordan out as a receiver.
Quick handoff, and this is Knighton. They have the leading rusher in Broward County and Dade County. They're good buddies, and this is going to be a heck of a 1-2 punch in the future years.
Yeah, they've got 3 that they're confident in. Harris, who we saw early, is more of a power back, but these 2 young freshmen are going to be really good as they grow in this offense. But man, Jordan again spread out here. The tight end is more of a receiver.
And there he is again, and he hurdles a tackler, dives for the pylon. They'll spot him just short. You saw the skill set right there. That's on the Mel Kiper tape already.
Watch Michael Redding in front get the block. 83 does a good job right there, just getting the defender, and then it allows Brevin Jordan to be able to go up and over. I mean, him out there in the slot, different attack as opposed to just being a tight end.
And powering to the pile, touchdown, Jalen Knighton. The first of his career. The Kings do back up the 75-yard drive with an 86-yard drive.
I'm telling you, we said it before. It's just, we anticipated what he could do for this offense, and now we're watching it. Now we're getting excited watching this offense with Rhett Lashley, the tempo, how many different formations there are. The defense doesn't know if it's coming or going, and then you got a quarterback back there that has composure and poise and been there and done that kind of an attitude, and the team is feeding off of that confidence that he exudes.
The young man nicknamed the Rooster, Knighton, caps off the drive. And Miami, an electric first quarter after an opening drive of missteps. 2 great drives.
Yeah, this is, again, get the ball out to Jordan, where he's, again, it's a tight end going up in the air like that over a defender. And show you the progressive pylon cam to see if he's able to extend and see how close he came to getting that ball into the end zone.
Came very close to the pylon cam.
He did.
And here's the touch. Excellent patience. He kind of works his way through the line. You're right, 3 good tailbacks and a very dynamic leader at quarterback.
Yeah, and keep in mind, they converted 2 third down and longs there.
Yep.
They're back deep in their own area. 3rd and 14 when they rushed 3 and dropped 8. He had no problem. He found that. And then a 3rd and 11. They converted on that. They kept both. They were able to convert both third downs to keep that drive alive and punch that into the end zone. Louisville needs to respond now here in this game.
Yeah, more dynamic plays from the passing game in the first quarter than Miami had in all of the opener. It was all about the running game, and already we've seen a much sharper attack. King with a 9 for 11 start, 121.
Great shot there from Dimov, just showing some of the energy that he brings to the sideline down there. Just again, kind of that infectious personality. Talking about a guy that, you know, he played so many games at Houston.
You're right, though. Louisville, after jumping out to a 3-0 lead, an impressive opening drive, stalled, settled for 3, now finds himself in an 11-point hole with the defense. It looked like it's going to have its hands full all night again.
Yeah, they are. They are. I mean, you know, and I think they're doing a good job trying to adjust as quickly as they can. But at the end of the day, they've got to do a good job, like they did in that first drive, of getting pressure and getting after De'Aaron King. And the answer to me with Rhett Lashley is get the ball out of De'Aaron King's hands quickly with a lot of different looks. Put a lot of pressure on Louisville's defense. Now we'll see if Cunningham can get them going.
He's 2 for 5, 10 yards for this dual threat quarterback. Hassan Hall is the back. They hand it to Tutu Atwell. You see the acceleration. One of the fastest men in college football. He's beefed up to 160, but it's all about the jets.
It is. It's just about getting him in space. They've motioned him on that jet look and faked it to him, just using him more as a decoy a number of times. They finally, this time, get it to him. He's fun to watch with the ball in his hands.
He said he was always the fastest kid. He was undefeated in tag.
Oh, you imagine?
You could not catch him.
You had no chance.
Cunningham surveys the field, fires downfield, and the catch is made by Fitzpatrick, who slips his defender and moves the ball to the 46 of Miami.
Yeah, that time Tutu Atwell is in the left flat, so the defensive back, the corner, is concerned about him, so he comes up. When he comes up, look at that nice hole right over top of his head that Malik Cunningham is able to find. So he just read Al Blades that time. If he sat back, he would have thrown it to Tutu, but Tutu's so dangerous. Al Blades came up. Good read.
Hawkins. Check it, that's Hassan Hall. Hall went down and visited Hawkins in Florida in this weird off-season, and they ran in the heat of Florida sand dunes. Now that is some tough training. You got to get creative, right, this off-season?
That's what you do, don't you, down there? You live down in Florida.
That was my old knees. You do not catch me running in sand dunes. Final seconds of the first quarter. Louisville on the move here. See if they snap it before the quarter. And the handoff. Hall picks his way. Hard hit. Ball came out. He was out of bounds before that with 1 second to play in the quarter.
He got hit when he went over to that sideline.
And that'll be the final play of the first quarter. Cardinals trying to cut into an 11-point Miami lead. A couple of very long, impressive touchdown drives engineered by De'Aaron King. End of one here at Cardinal Stadium. Back after this message and a word from your local ABC station.
The super big Samsung QLED TV is made for football.
Time for the second quarter. Saturday Night Football on ABC. Presented by Capital One, part of Marathon Conference Kickoff. ACC opener for both teams. And the Cardinals need 3 on third down to begin the quarter. And the handoff is to Hall, and he's going to be stopped short of the marker by that Canes defense.
That's a great play by Zach McLeod there. You know they're going to go to that outside stretch play. That's their bread and butter, especially on third down when they need those yards. But Zach McLeod got off of the block and then got to the ball carrier.
So a decision for Satterfield. It's a full yard. And actually, they want to bring the change. Louisville is saying, wait a second, let's measure this. I'm not convinced that it wasn't the first down where the ball is spotted.
It looks like
bring the chains all the way over.
It's like about half a yard.
The line to make there.
Watch McLeod, 53, gets off of this block, boom, into the backfield. He doesn't make that play. That's easily a first down.
Guy playing on his 46th game, one of the senior leaders of that defense. Closer than we were led to believe. So it's about a few lengths of a chain. Easy decision here on fourth down now?
Yeah, absolutely. With the way Miami's offense has been executing, beginning of the second quarter, down 14-3. Yeah, you got to go for this.
See where they'll run. It's been tough to get to the edge in this Canes defense. We've got Javian Hawkins, who's 196, but a powerful running back. And does Cunningham keep it himself? Hawkins is lined up 8 yards behind the line. They need just inches here. They feed it to him, and he hurdles for a first down. Test to the middle with success that time.
Good job by the offensive line. You know those backers are flying downhill. Defensive line pinching. Still able to easily pick up that first down. Wouldn't be surprised here after picking up a 4th and short. Give Cunningham the football. See if he can attack downfield. Try to find a matchup, a one-on-one matchup. Maybe they can get the ball. Try to stretch them down the field vertically a little bit.
Isaac Martin, the tight end, number 41, is in the backfield and is a protector. And it's an option pitch. Hawkins runs right into the tackler. That holding his ground was your guy, McLeod again.
Yeah. Yeah, what an incredible advantage it is when you play as many games as Zach McLeod has played. You know, sometimes in the college game when you and I are doing games, you can just see linebackers. They look at a formation. They look at where the ball, what hash it's on, the down in the distance. You know, how much pressure an offensive lineman has on his hand. They'll start calling out the plays to the defense. McLeod just seems to be a step ahead of everybody in that run game.
Off the play action, Cunningham fires complete into the secondary, and Justin Marshall, kind of the quiet member of this playmaking core, has a first down in the red zone.
Go play action. Get that defense to freeze just enough and see the location of that football. He gets it away from the defender, the corner. Couch pulls him back into the inside, and Marshall's a good-looking receiver at 6'3", about 213 pounds.
On a lot of teams, he could be a featured guy. He's that talented. First down, and into heavy traffic. Hawkins is knocked down after about a 2-yard gain. Bubba Bolden, one of those excellent safeties you talked about, the junior from Vegas.
Yep.
Go Nesta Silvera in there, the 300-pounder. Don't forget about the interior guys on this defensive line. The hype goes to the pass rushers, but Silvera, Jonathan Ford, they got depth in there as well.
They have size and quickness. You can see them on that stretch play. And they've been challenged all week to try to chase that down from the inside out in case there's a cutback.
Hassan Hall in a tailback, and that time Miami defensive line wins again. Jonathan Ford, that starting defensive tackle, plugged it up. It'll be 3rd and long.
Right on cue. You just talked about Silvera and also Ford kind of holding the point. And not only that, you've got the safeties and the backers coming downhill and trying to fill those gaps. Gets Cunningham now to a 3rd and 7 situation.
And they tested the middle a couple of times without success as they've gotten in close. They need 7, not 3, with the way this game's going.
Remember, his feet also a factor down here. This has been an interesting call by the officials because the right tackle was leaning, but Phillips jumped.
Both guys are pointing at the other guy.
Yeah.
Offside. Defense. Causing the offensive player to move. Penalty is half the distance to goal. 3rd down.
It's on to Phillips, who caused the tackle to flinch. You can't do that. Makes it a much more manageable 3rd down now.
Watch Phillips. Watch Phillips. See that lean, that upper body lean? That's what made Phillips jump, and that's why he started the point. He's like, I'm in your head. I'm in your head, kid.
Those are some mind games between the tackles and the pass rushers tonight. Keep an eye on that.
Now it's 3rd and a big difference. 3rd and 2 or 3 here.
3 tight ends in the ball game. Off play action, Cunningham slings into the end zone, but it's incomplete. Tried to get it to Ian Pfeiffer, the tight end who has 3 career catches, all 3 for touchdowns, but not a connection there.
Sometimes when a guy's that open, you short arm it. You know, he's working to the back, and watch how he comes off to the edge here. That's a touchdown. He just kind of short arms the ball. He's wide open. If he throws that to the back corner, it's an easy touchdown.
Pfeiffer says, come on, I was going to be 4 for 4 for my career. The former Vandy guard.
Offensive
lineman of the Commodores. Saw Cunningham, a disappointing end for him, to a 71-yard, 11-play drive. Who have to settle for the chip shot attempt from James Turner. Miami, touchdowns on their 2 long drives. Louisville field goals, 14-6 Canes. The city of Louisville has been a very uneasy, frankly dangerous place lately. It's been one of the focal points of the protests against racial injustice since the killing of Breonna Taylor by police in March. The city settled a $12 million wrongful death lawsuit with her family this week. Breonna Taylor was remembered around town in various murals and artwork. Justice for Breonna are signs that you see, and it's made this Louisville football team far more aware than most programs are of the causes of racial injustice. They've come up with several initiatives, several Louisville players saying it's really important to them, and they've got big plans to continue unity, justice movement throughout the rest of the season. Pope back deep to receive the kickoff. 71-yard drive producing only 3, and the kickoff out of bounds will set Miami up at good field position. Sunday countdown, 10 o'clock Eastern time, ahead of Tom Brady's first home game as a Buccaneer. Now, his arrival in Tampa included an accidental home invasion. Randy Moss ranks this week's best college football catches, and who got mossed in his view. Sunday NFL countdown tomorrow morning, 10 Eastern on ESPN.
Something to watch in this game. Always talk about how important red zone is in college football. You're going to give up some yards, but how do you do in the red zone? Are you stopping people? Miami tonight twice in the red zone, a couple scores. Louisville, they've had their chances. They've been down there. They've just only been able to come away with 2 field goals. Have not gotten into the end zone.
Cardinals defense reeling a bit after Miami's last 2 touchdown drives, and this time they get after Cameron Harris, and he's dropped behind the line. Flooding in there, nice play by Nick Okeke.
Yeah, and a nice job also of the call that time by Brian Brown. He slants his defensive line. He moves them a lot, just trying to occupy those offensive linemen and get those linebackers flying, and that time it worked out well.
Even after a 2-yard loss, they play quickly, and there's a beautiful throw, and the catch made down in Louisville territory. Harley just got the foot down. King is so accurate on the run.
Chris, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me with this throw to his left? Watch this, and there's a late hit into the sideline of Louisville. The ball is thrown perfect location. Harley, nice job of getting his feet down. It's 1 down and 2 down, getting ready for Sundays next year. But I tell you, the throw that time by De'Aaron King, rolling to his left and throwing over top of defenders.
Personal foul, defense, number 3, 15-yard penalty. Added to the end of the run.
That's a frustration penalty. Yeast is one of their leaders, one of the veteran guys in that defense, but throws like that, I mean, he's so good on the run.
Yeah, and by the way, he's got big offensive lineman John Campbell, who's 6'5", right in his face, and he had to go over top of his own tackle, and then to be able to put it up in the air and drop it down like that to Harley.
They're going to throw again on first down. They come after him a little bit. A looping throw, jump ball incomplete, trying to get the ball to Pope. And that was Anthony Johnson in coverage. Well, the Hurricanes passing game, Kirk, has come alive tonight. It was all about the run in the opener. It's a dynamic difference tonight.
Yeah, they are, I think, an offense right now that's feeling good. And Chris, I think they're sensing right now they've got Louisville on the ropes defensively. That's why they're big pass, 15-yard penalty. They turn right around and take a shot to the end zone.
They're going to get the ball out quickly, and now tries to scramble and make a play on the move. Surveys the field. Sideline route incomplete. Pope came back to the ball, couldn't quite collect it. It'll be 3rd and 10. They've converted a couple of 3rd and longs tonight. So what do you do if you're Brian Brown in the defense this time?
Well, I think you've got to try to get some pressure on him. You got to contain him, obviously, but you got to try to give a look, confuse that offensive line.
They do come after him, and they force a high throw. D. Wiggins was open crossing, but Thurman Gathers to the linebacker, got in the quarterback's face. It's 4th down.
Yeah, they did a good job of just kind of showing one look and then going to another. They got pressure with a twist and eventually got to him. And one of the rare times in the last few drives they've been able to get him to get the ball out of his hands before he was ready to.
Going to see one of the big areas of improvement besides the quarterback, and that's the kicker. Jorge Gales, we talked about his success at FIU, was good from 60 in pregame warmup. He kicks kind of a line drive ball, but tremendous leg strength. This from 47 left hash, drives it right through. Manny Diaz said he's a game changer. They struggled mightily last year in close games. Field goals cost them a few victories. They love the guy they've got now. So the quarterback, the kicker, some new faces in Miami. Transfers have been good to this program in the offseason, and now they've got an 11-point lead.
Saturday Night Football, presented by Capital One on ABC, is brought to you by Pacific Life. More than 150 years strong. Trust in your tomorrow. And Ford, built Ford proud.
Heisman Trophy winner, unanimous NFL MVP last year. Repping Louisville on game day, getting set for the game against the Texans. No doubt watching. I'll never forget Lamar Jackson, Deshaun Watson, that duel down in Death Valley. Deshaun and Clemson got the win, but Lamar was unbelievable. Cardinals came like a play or two short.
Second half. Yeah, James Quick got the ball late and just came up a little bit short. You'll never forget that. I think that was a great one. I'll never forget standing right here and watching Lamar do what he did to the Florida State defense. Florida State's defense. That was an athletic defense. He made him look like a high school team.
Kickoff again, driven to the end zone. The Bear in his alternate den this year, but he's back with the Affleck trivia question. They're going to be gentle with us in opening night for us?
Of course not, but it's going to involve that game that Kirk just mentioned nearly 4 years ago to the day. Louisville put that 63-20 loss on then #2 Florida State. That 43-point loss is the third largest margin of defeat for a top 3 team in AP poll history. And tonight's Affleck trivia question is, what is the largest margin of defeat for an AP top 3 team, and do you know the 2 teams involved in the game? So more of a fact than a trivia question.
Are you counting postseason games too?
Absolutely.
With the Fiesta Bowl 62-24 Nebraska over Florida, would that be a nominee?
That would be a nominee. Not the answer, but a nominee.
Louisville now down 11, back to work, hoping to reach the end zone with this drive, and nice first down carry by Hawkins to move the sticks.
Important for them to just kind of stick to their guns, obviously. And we got 10 minutes to go in the second quarter. There's a long way to go in this game. One thing I would say, though, and I thought about it earlier with Tutu Atwell has been coming in that jet motion. They got to him one time the whole game so far. I mean, you would think coming in, I would have told you Tutu Atwell, they're going to find unique ways to get him the ball in space. That's not been the case so far.
Off the play action, Cunningham retreats, and he'll be sacked. So second and short, it's a huge loss. And that's Jared Harrison Hunt.
Well, there was good pressure from the outside as well. You'll see Cam Williams, 22, right there, almost gets to him. It forces him to step up to the inside. And then there's Harrison Hunt, who's in there as well. So this Miami defensive line, that time they didn't blitz. Rushed 4, got pressure from the outside from Williams, the freshman, and then eventually Harrison Hunt cleans it up.
Here's a DN. They move inside in their third down rush package. So very athletic front, the Hurricanes, and they are imposing their will. And now it's 3rd and 14. And Cunningham escapes. He's got a lot of room. Can he get there? No, he's knocked down. Is flying up to make a nice open field tackle. There was Corey Couch to save the first down.
Well, that is a good job of pulling it down and going by Cunningham. Once he pulls it down, look at all that turf, and that's a tough tackle right there in the open field by Couch. But he goes down, gets just enough of Cunningham to keep him short of that first down because he was closing in on it in a hurry.
It's painful for the Cardinals. They get 8 yards in that first down run. They call a pass play. The sack backs them way up, and now it's a 3-and-out with Lupo on the punt. And King's going to go back to work, trying to stretch this lead now. It's a high and very short kick. Hope comes up into traffic, makes the fair catch at the 39. This is a 31-yard punt. And here comes a Mr. King and the Canes offense.
Kevin Nagani in studio now for our Fansville studio update brought to you by Dr. Pepper. NC State season opener hosting Wake Forest on the ACC network. Late starter at quarterback Bailey Hockman, 7-yard run. Wolfpack up 14-0. Sam Hartman to Jaquari Roberson. Nice grab. But right now, 21-7 NC State. Back to Chris, Kirk, and Allison.
All right, Kevin, thank you. King flips the ball incomplete. Brevin Jordan was coming across open, and that's one of the first miscues for King tonight. Not a good throw.
Well, he got some pressure right in his face. I think it looked like Burns got in there pretty quickly. You continue to see Brevin Jordan moved around in this new Rhett Lashley offense, motioning him around, putting him in that slot. He's to the slot to the right now at King.
It's a straight run, and a diminutive quarterback. We'll give him 5'10". Maybe he's 5'9.5". Doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't.
Plays big.
And not only that, he can run enough to make you have to appreciate it and respect it. You get numbers when you run the quarterback, and it makes those backers and safeties always have to be aware, and that creates more of those one-on-one matchups that you can exploit.
I'd be surprised if we didn't see a scramble at some point this evening. He hurt UAB big to 87 yards on scrambles in the opener. He needs 7. Officially 6 on 3rd down, and from the pocket delivers, and there's Jordan again. It's a matchup problem. First down at the Louisville 45.
So it's a nice job of feeling that he's got some pressure from his left, and he knows right away to get the ball to Brevin Jordan. Doesn't need a huge play, doesn't try to do too much, and they go tempo right off of that first down.
Stacked receivers to the left is Mallory, the tight end, who was having that knee wrapped earlier. He was in there as a blocker, and the catch is made by Wiggins. Short game.
Jordan right now leading the Canes in receptions on the night. Again, they moved him from the left here. Now they move him all the way out to the right.
Donald Chaney is taking his turn, and this freshman is spun around, gained about a yard to the 40. It'll be 3rd and 5. And all 12,000 here trying to urge this defense on. Already down 11. Miami has scored in each of its last 3 possessions, and threatening again if they can convert this 3rd down.
You know what makes it tough to defend this passing game? It's not like they just have one guy. I mean, Jordan's having a good night, but he's throwing it to everybody.
Louisville backs off, rushes just 3. King again has lots of time. Now he's flushed and fires incomplete on the sideline. So they didn't blitz him, but the protection broke down anyway, and that's a win for the Cardinals defense finally.
Yeah, eventually it looks like Peterson, 29, gets in there from the middle, flushes him out. His receiver actually fell down on his route, but give Louisville credit. A good job in coverage and a good job of that time getting after D'Eriq King, forcing him out of the pocket, and he had nothing to do but to throw that ball away.
Well, you said that Borregales, their new kicker, has range, and he was making him from 60 in the warm-up, but this is a reflection of the confidence that Diaz has in this guy, because they are setting up for a field goal. It's going to be about 56.
It's exciting.
In his career, by the way, 50 plus. Yeah, he's made 3 out of 4.
Yeah, last year 3 out of 4, as long as 53, so he's got the leg.
He was part of an FIU victory over Miami.
But I just find it interesting, Manny Diaz, that he does show a lot of confidence, because if he doesn't make this, pretty good field position for Cunningham in the Louisville offense. It's a bomb.
Cardinals are now going to send somebody back to potentially return a miss.
They're sending Burns back.
Here we go. It's been an impressive start. They figure, all right, new guy, chance to flash the leg. Can he drive one through from 56?
Oh, wow. How about,
are you kidding me?
How about 65 plus?
I mean,
how about his reaction, Chris?
They're giddy about the quarterback. They're almost as giddy about the kicker.
Did you see him after he hit it?
I got it. I got it. Borregales, new school record. You talk about confidence in your mechanics. I told you he kicks a line drive, drives it from 57 with power, goes in the net, and then the nonchalance here. Look at the reaction.
Yeah, he's like, I mean,
give me a challenge here.
What do you expect? By the way, any kicker that shows up, tatted up, eye black, he's confident.
I mean, right? He has over the moon. So are you kidding me? After what we had last year, all those close losses. He announced how confident he was in Borregales, and it moved Jose's mom so much. She just burst into tears. Her son is living his dream. He wanted to kick for the Canes out of high school, took a detour to FIU. All right, Mr. Faliki. Your alma mater has a quarterback and a kicker, and you've got the answer to the Affleck trivia question.
It's refreshing to see. I'm sure Alice and I are excited about that. We asked tonight. We asked the Affleck trivia question tonight. The largest margin of defeat for an AP top 3 team, and who were involved in that game. Got to go back to 1945.
Of course.
It was a 1-versus-2 game between Army and Notre Dame. Remember the 44 game, then the 45 game. So great. The
pollsters were new back then. It'd only been around about 7 years, I think. They didn't know
38, right?
Yeah, 38.
37?
Hawkins, a nice run again. They've had success with the running game, and he shoved that out of bounds near the marker on the far side.
Yeah, they're not going to go away from the stretch play. And again, that's their identity, especially with Hawkins. He runs it so well, physical. That time he had some nice blocking. He can show you he can get upfield in a hurry when he's given a chance. But they've got to be able to stretch, get their running game going, and then go to play action, because the defensive line against this offensive line, it's a mismatch. It's favoring the Canes, not only on the edges, but in the middle.
Hawkins again, physical run. They move the sticks. You know, talking about a guy like Cunningham, one of the best deep ball throwers in the country last year. Just tremendous success. 10 touchdowns on deep balls last year.
Yeah.
Big number.
And I think he came to Louisville really talented in that area. The area that he's tried to continue to improve is just continue to become more consistent with his short to intermediate passing.
Tutu Atwell slot left. We're keeping an eye on him. Can they get him the touches? Use that speed. Hawkins an effective catch and run, and the Cardinals have moved into Miami territory. Another first down.
They're kind of a condensed look. They tightened in the coverage, the Miami defense, and then they slipped Hawkins out of the backfield, and nobody picked him up. Really nice, nicely designed play there by Louisville and Scott Satterfield. I like that, mixing in that condensed look, something they've not shown too much of tonight in their passing game.
Atwell just one reception so far. Try to run it with Hassan Hall to the near side and strung out. Allison?
Chris, one improvement that coaches saw from Malik Cunningham this year is his command of the offense and his leadership. He has really found his voice, and I've seen it down here on the sideline. After those drives where they had to settle for field goals, he was pretty vocal with guys, letting them know that that wasn't going to be enough, and that's been a huge step and a huge development for him as a quarterback, is really becoming a leader on this team.
You're right, but those leadership skills, they come into play right now. Because you're down 14 and your defense is really struggling. And they make something of this drive. They get Tutu Atwell, and that's a very, very nice tackle in space by Bubba Bolden before the speedster could really get going.
That's a tough ask right there by Bubba Bolden. Even though he is rangy and athletic, this is exactly what Louisville wants. A zone pressure. They call the perfect play to get Atwell the ball out there where he's got a little bit of wiggle room. And if it weren't for Bolden and his ability to close the ground there, that's easily a first down.
Need 4 on third. Cunningham in the flat. Catch made. Tackle made very quickly by Bolden again. And they're short by 3 yards now. 4th down.
You can see Bolden. I mean, one of the first things that you see when you watch film of him is how much range he has. And keep in mind, he's 6'3", 200 pounds. He's played a lot of football, so he's able to see things. I just love how he's fundamentally sound, wrapping up there, keeping Louisville short of the first.
Canes running guys off of the field here. Still some confusion. They got to spend a timeout.
Yeah, but keep in mind, Louisville had a substitution, so it allows the Canes to take as much time as they need.
Charge timeout.
I think they were confused with the call.
Exactly. This is an important play. You know, Louisville trying to cut into the lead. They're going to get the ball to begin the second half, but clearly Miami has put points on the board in each of their last 4 drives. Kings got it going. They haven't found the end zone yet. This feels like an important 4th down and 3 play for them.
It is, and you know, it's one thing to move the ball. You get into plus territory, and I think things obviously become tighter. You got to have quicker decisions from Cunningham at quarterback, and the defense, the receivers got to do a better job of getting some separation, because in these first times that they've had the ball in the plus territory, they, as you said, they've been only kicking field goals. And at this point, 20-6, the way King and that offense from Miami's playing, they need to get the ball in the end zone.
We talked about the newcomers impressing at quarterback and kicker. Folks, Jalen Phillips I know he came in with a lot of hype, but it is more than just by number 15 on the edge for the Canes is a monster out there.
Keep in mind when you watch him that he's 6'5", 266 pounds. And if you don't know his story, he started at UCLA. His first couple years had a lot of injuries. In fact, a concussion at 18. And he sat out all of 19, contemplating giving up the game, ends up coming to Miami. And you can see it's changed his life. He's playing with a newfound confidence and attitude.
On fourth down, on cue, that Miami defensive line swarms in there. Bradley Jennings, the middle backer, who missed all of last year with hip surgery, made the tackle.
Yeah, and watch the tight end Ford try to block him. I mean, he's getting pushed right back into the backfield, and the rest of that Miami defense is able to get in there. Bradley Jennings, 44. See, his eyes are in the backfield right away. He sees play action, but he doesn't slow down. Gets in and eventually brings him down. But Manny Diaz that time and Blake Baker, the defensive coordinator, they dialed up pressure and just blew up the line of scrimmage on the edges and shot through the middle and hit those gaps.
Haven't seen the turnover chain yet in 2020, but Miami tackles for loss, also one of the best teams in the country in that department. And now King back to work, and another penalty on the offensive line as Campbell backed out of his stance very quickly.
I know they didn't.
Start. Offense, number 74. 5-yard penalty. First down.
I know they officially don't get a chance to bring out the turnover chain, but that feels like a turnover, right? On 4th and 3. I mean,
good point.
With Louisville driving and having a chance to maybe try to get some points, they get a stop on 4th and 3.
King on first down, fires, and the ball is dropped over there. He was so wide open. Pope just waiting for the football and flat out dropped it.
And with Pope, I don't know if Anthony Johnson, 27, went up in the air, and I don't think he touched the ball. He doesn't really do a good job of putting hands on him to slow him down on his route. There's a nice hole right behind him, and I think Pope just lost his focus there.
Good point, he got distracted.
Yeah, I think maybe anticipating the ball being tipped, but it came clean.
Missed chance at a big play, and now a keeper, and King off and running. Flags coming in where the block was thrown. They might have gotten Campbell in another penalty.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a hold, but there you see it again. King, they're not afraid to run him on that zone read game, and you collapse down on the back, he's going to pull it and run, but I think they're going to have a hold and bring it back.
The big tackle was out in space. Let's see if they
John Campbell
targeted him. Yep.
Holding. Offense, number 74. 10-yard penalty. Second down.
He grabs a hold, and easy for the officials to see that.
Penalties have been the one thing that Manny Diaz would not really be pleased about in this first half. They've had 6 of them. The offensive line has been guilty of the 4 or 5 of those. So it's 2nd and 21.
Yeah, they've self-destructed. It's been one of the few times that King has been slowed down is when they've had penalties and pushed themselves back way behind the sticks.
With the play action, Harris is trying to make something of it, but Miami, after the drop and the penalties, messing up a chance to add to this lead.
I thought they might call it tackle. I thought they'd call a timeout there. They have 3 timeouts. It's a 3rd and forever. Are they calling a timeout?
Maybe they're just content to just end the possession. And
charge timeout. Louisville.
Yeah, Louisville's for the timeout.
That's what I was saying. Okay. Yeah, I was saying Louisville.
30-second timeout.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think Diaz will spend one.
No. I'm saying Scott Satterfield should spend one because 3rd down and very, very long. They've got a chance to get a stop here and get the football back.
Well, this Louisville defense needed the breaks that Miami's offense just gave them off the 4th down stop.
There's some chirping going on that's been a little excessive here. There's a flag on the field, and I think a Miami player, looked like DJ Scaife, grabbed a Louisville player by the leg and just kind of pulled him out of the pile.
Well, Harris was on the ground. I don't think that the lineman enjoyed.
Against the offense, number 51.
Yeah, you can't do that. He grabbed the leg of Goldwire, but they were kind of laying on top of Harris a little bit after the tackle.
For me, it's been building the whole half. You know, if you really watch the game, and I'd love to ask Bill this, because I always felt as a player that if the officials don't take control of the game, the players continue to get away with stuff. Eventually, they'll police it. Bill, how do you feel about that when there's a lot of chirping going on both sides? How do you control that?
There's 2 things you have to do. You have to have physical presence with the verbal to the players. But you also have to get the message to the coach. Now you can take the argument away if the coach doesn't correct it. Hey, it's really a foul on the coach if he doesn't get his team under control. So it's physical presence.
Especially when it goes on and on. You know, when you see an entire half of it, you got to, some point, you got to talk to the coaches or the captains.
Well, Deals will be displeased with how his team is trying to finish off this half. The drop by Pope, they would have been threatening to add to a 14-point lead. The penalties, and now that 15-yarder makes it 3rd and 34.
He's going to run the ball, make him use another timeout.
Being knocked down, but even Burns in the tackle. Louisville has a chance to have decent field position, even though Headley is a heck of a punter here. As they try to cut into the lead, they'll get the ball again to begin the 3rd quarter. Tomorrow afternoon on ESPN, Major League Baseball doubleheader. The Giants and the A's, Bay Area rivals at 4 o'clock Eastern time. And Sunday night baseball from Wrigley Field as the Cubs host Nelson Cruz and the Twins at 7 Eastern. Also on ESPN Deportes and streaming live on the ESPN app. Incredible time, unprecedented busy calendar in sports. Canes fans are also Miami Heat fans, so we're trying to keep you abreast there. Celtics desperate for a win. Heat up 2-0 in the series. Boston has a lead at the end of the 1st quarter. We'll keep you posted as you watch your favorite football team.
You fired up about the Heat? I know you spend a lot of time down in Miami. You a big NBA guy?
I like the NBA. I love the NBA playoffs. I'm a Bulls guy from birth, but yeah, the Heat are a tremendous team.
Bulls guy, spent time in Chicago. I mean, were you a Bulls fan pre-Jordan?
Yeah, I grew up.
Wow, that's a Bulls fan.
Bob Butterbean Love, Chet Walker.
You're official.
Go back to the early 70s. Headley drives a low punt. Oh, not his best. They rough him.
Yeah.
He rolled out, and the Aussie rules football player got roughed up, and that's a costly penalty.
It's a roughing to me. I don't think it was running into the punter. It looked like he hit him pretty good.
That's a genuine limp by the big fella.
I don't know about that, but that's always for effect.
Oh my goodness! And the Miami is going to now keep the ball, and so much for Louisville having a chance to get the ball back. He's in the air when contact is made, and it's typically a personal foul. It's tough when you have the rugby punters moving out. You have to be much more conscious of where they are.
Paul Bill on the field is running into the kicker. So I think that's why there's a discussion here about what they might want to do.
Of course, that is not an automatic first down.
No, I thought it might. I thought it'd be rough.
Receiving team, that penalty's declined. First down, Louisville.
Okay, so it's not a personal foul. Bill, what's your take on the 5-yarder versus the 15 yards, the automatic first down?
If you just go by the fact he ran into the kicking leg, then there's something to hang your hat on. But that was pretty forcible contact that I would have preferred to support a 15-yarder for a personal foul roughing a kicker.
I thought it would have been that. So Louisville catches a break. They get the ball back to Malik Cunningham and have a little bit of time to work with a timeout still remaining.
Cardinals with 1:59, 1 timeout.
Again, we talk a lot about Tutu Outwell, but you also have Dez Fitzpatrick, 7, who can make plays in this situation as well. Both are off to the right of
Cunningham. Have yet to really strike deep into the heart of Miami's defense. This would be a time to do it. They throw underneath to Fitzpatrick. He's got a big cushion, knocked out across the 40. It'll be a first down.
You're right. With that cushion, they'll take that. It's just giving them yards.
Kevin Nagani, Mark Sanchez, and Booger McFarland. The Dish halftime report coming up. Highlights from around the country today.
As bad as this first half has felt for Louisville, they somehow drive this field, get a touchdown, pull with 20-13, go in at halftime. Feel a lot better about where they are at halftime. Could have been a lot worse.
They bring pressure, completion across the middle. And that's Marshawn Ford. The tight ends are usually a big part of the offense. He's finally gotten involved. They move into Miami territory now. Do not use their timeout. And the clock will be wound and start with 1:45 in the half. Cunningham running that 2-minute drill. Finds Atwell, his second catch. a short gain to the 44.
Cunningham looks very comfortable here in these first 3 throws. The second play, the linebackers came. He sat in there, had time, and took advantage of those blitzing linebackers, threw it right over the middle where they had blitzed from. And they, again, a little cushion. He's just trying to take anything that's going to be given to him. He's using his eyes and finding the soft spots in his zones.
Year 2 in the offense, Cunningham, a real command. He used the offseason, spent a lot of time on the iPad, and you can notice a difference from year 1. But he's chased again and fires and throws an interception. Under pressure, Al Blades Jr. was coming across and got in the way, and we're going to see the first appearance in 2020 of the turnover chain, and it's the Canes legacy corner who's going to wear it around his neck.
That's pretty fitting, isn't it, for Al Blades to be able to pull the turnover chain out first time in 2020?
Holding, offense number 55. Penalty decline. First down, Miami.
Now the offense has the touchdown rings in the state of Florida there. A.J. Machado, the jeweler down in Miami, has gone to work. You got to put the mask on before you put the chain on these days. And there it is. And that is big because it took away the chance for the Cardinals to cut into the lead. 3 years of the chain before this year, 76 takeaways. That's tied for the most of all Power 5 teams with Wisconsin. Coincidence or not?
You know, there have been a lot of different teams, I think, that have played off of their turnover chain, but I think theirs got the most attention. And how about the play, the closing speed by Al Blades, who was in man-to-man coverage, had to work all the way across the field, and just a really poor decision by Cunningham in a 2-minute. Just throw that football away.
King on the keeper is trapped. I just got done praising his command to the offense.
As soon as he threw it, I just went, ugh, throw it away.
I think you can feel, though, the urgency of this offense, knowing their defense is having a heck of a time stopping the other guys. And it feels like every possession, they got to do something.
Yeah, that's a fair point. Sometimes when you look across the field and you see a quarterback in an offense that's been effective and you're down, you've dug yourself a hole, you do feel like you need to press a bit.
I know it's only 14.
Try to make a play.
You got a whole half, but they have struggled mightily. And now the Canes, they have a third down. Turning the tables here. They take a timeout. Trying to add to the lead here. And he did not want to have to spend that timeout in this situation. Lashley kind of calmed down. Here's the turnover chain. Now, they made his appearance 3 years ago. They've redesigned it, kind of retooled it every year. And it's gotten, I would say, bigger and flashier every year. They rep the 305. Now it's the whole state of Florida, Allison. So the chain in year 4, is it a thumbs up from you?
It's a thing of beauty, Chris. It really is. It's the turnover chain 4.0. And let's just say, here's a few impressive stats. It weighs 300 grams. There's 1,400 sapphire stones in the U portion of it, half green, half orange. And then the state of Florida portion has 1,900 white sapphires. That thing took 3 months to complete. And I'll tell you what, the Canes on the sidelines here could not wait to debut it. Blades Jr. is still wearing it. True 2020 fashion, though. When you wear it, you have to wear the mask, and then they wipe it down.
Allison, I didn't know you just kept it on that long. You're just going to keep it on maybe into halftime.
He's not taking it off.
Alex Devine, they call him the sheriff. He's in charge of it. He's got like this elaborate briefcase, and now time has run out. Blades has to give it back. They wipe it down. This is true 2020 protocol here. But it used to be just the 305, Kirk. Now they went like the whole state of Florida on there, sending a message.
I know. It's all about recruiting now.
So it's 4th down for Miami at the 49. Louisville at least able to prevent Miami adding to the lead. They take a timeout here. And when they go in and talk about this first half, what do you think the message is going to be, from Satterfield? And from Dwayne Ledford, who's the play caller as well on this offense. I think they've expected to have reached the end zone by now and haven't been able to do so. Twice.
You're down a couple possessions, though. I mean, it's still a game. You watch college football. Today, Navy was down 24-0 in halftime, and it looked like they couldn't do anything right. They came back and won the game. So, yeah, you obviously got to make adjustments, but I don't think it's as dire as it feels. I mean, they're down a couple possessions, and
They need that one big play to spark them.
I believe they get the ball.
Yeah, they do.
To start the second half. They deferred after winning the toss, so they'll get the ball to start the second half.
They certainly have the guys who can change the tone of the game in one play. But Miami's defense has been very, very strong defending against those big plays. Headley's punt fair caught down inside the 15. We'll be in South Florida. There is a small crowd allowed at Hurricane home games. Not the students, however, as the Seminoles come calling. Again, Mike Norvell, head coach of Florida State. Wish him well. He's asymptomatic, but did test positive. Shocked him. His family, thankfully, did not also test positive, so he'll coach remotely this week. And the Noles will try to get it going. Then loss against Georgia Tech in their conference opener.
Yeah, they did not look very good, and not the way you want to start a season with a new coach heading in hopefully a different direction. So hopefully he is okay and everybody's okay down in Tallahassee.
Atwell comes in motion to the right slot. 29 seconds to work with. And Cunningham flips it across the middle. Kind of a dangerous throw given the situation, and not much of a reward there. And let's see if they head to the locker room content.
Yeah, they
get the football to begin the third quarter, try to cut into this lead.
They may want to just shut it down. Miami was just sitting there waiting on him to throw that football. You don't
Satterfield a shake of the head.
Yeah, you don't want to turn it over, obviously.
And they do snap it and hand it off inside, and Hall breaks free, gets a couple blocks, loses the football. The Canes have it, no time on the clock. Amari Carter is going to be tackled, so he will technically get to wear the chain, I guess, to the locker room.
Fumble on the play, recovered.
Carter with the fumble recovery, so 2 late turnovers, and now there continues to be some jawing on the far side of the field over near the Miami bench.
This has been kind of building the whole first half. We've seen, a lot of these guys, Louisville has their fair share of kids from Florida and guys from Miami, and so a lot of them played high school football together, and they're competitive.
Absolutely, and Louisville came out juiced up, did not expect to be down a couple of scores at halftime. So a lot of excitement here in the first half, the end of the first half. Halftime report coming up right after these messages.